To make sure that you're recording? Yes. All right. Well, welcome again. Thank you for all finding time to join us today amidst your busy schedules, work and personal. And I just want to let you know, if you have not heard my voice or seen me before, I'm Andrea Williams. Under Citywide Training and Development, I am an HR analyst. I do a lot of things with the city though, but I'm glad to have you here. Today's conversation is going to be about our introduction to knowledge of financial education, which is AKA like Consolidated Credit, pretty cool. And that is sponsored by Colonial Life. We will cover that in just a moment, but I do want to take a moment to do a little housekeeping. For those of you who have joined us, you know the drill. I'm going to get ready to say, what do you know? And you tell us, right? But just want to make sure that you can use your chat to ask questions. We've got a couple of representatives on the line from Colonial Life. So I'm glad that they're here as well. So they may jump in and answer those questions from the chat as well. Or if you want to verbalize a question towards the end, you can take yourself off mute at the request of the presenter, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to type your first and your last name into the chat so I can give you credit. We do try to look at people who have signed in, but sometimes people sign in as like a call-in user one, or they have different names that they put in, and I'm like, is that person? So we want to give you credit. A recorded version of this session will be available within 48 hours in the training gateway. So keep a lookout for that in an email from us. Don't forget, this information is in this workshop is for general education purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations. Attending the session outside of your regular work hours is considered voluntary and you won't be compensated. In a perfect world, I would compensate all of you, right? But in the meantime, again, today's topic is Introduction to Knowledge of Financial Education, featuring Beatrice Hartman. Let me tell you just a little bit about Beatrice. She is the Financial Wellness Solutions Leader for Consolidated Credit. And in that capacity, Ms. Hartman superheads Consolidated Credit's Corporate Financial Wellness Program, KOFE, and that's short for Knowledge of Financial Education. And that is a cost-effective and flexible financial wellness program that combines online education with one-on-one financial coaching and face-to-face classroom education. Ms. Hartman is bilingual, which I'm excited about, and a contributor to Huffington Post Voices, and a regular guest on community affairs programs in both English and Spanish on radio and TV. Y'all, we have a celebrity in our midst. So without further ado, Beatrice, I'll let you take things away.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I only wish I was a celebrity.
You are. You are.
But I will take my 5 minutes of fame here and take over on in the introduction of this KOFE platform, which I think is a super amazing benefit for anybody. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what income level you're in, what your personal financial situation might be. Everybody's at some point and stage of our lives going to need financial education or financial guidance of some sort. So what we have done with partnering with Colonial is providing all of you with these tools and resources through the platform that you see on the screen. And I'm going to do a little demo of the platform to help you understand the resources that are available through it, and to help you better navigate it, so that next time when you access this platform on your own, you have the ability to understand where things are and what things to expect to find on the platform. First of all, the link is very simple: colonial.coffeetime.com. colonial.coffeetime.com is the link. And when you go on that platform, you will be able to see, first of all, a toll-free number on the top right corner of the screen. You see that 866-932-4185. Okay, that number is for unlimited and unbiased financial coaching. So when you dial that number, you're going to get to speak with one of our KOFE coaches about your personal finances. It's always free. and it's unbiased. We are not pushing for any service. We don't solicit any type of product. It's real, financial coaching or counseling. And that's what KOFE is about. It's the combination of live interaction through that coaching service with the live tools that are available through the platform. So I'm going to start talking first about coaching so we can get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to the digital tools, okay? So the first thing, why am I not able to move? Oh, see, I understand now what I'm doing. Okay.
And one more thing,
okay.
Beatrice.
Yeah.
One more thing. I know you're signed in twice today. So if you could mute the one without your picture, so that when you're talking, we can make your face larger as an option. Okay, I don't hear you. So you're only, okay, so maybe it's doing both lines at the same time. All right, I don't think you'll be able to.
Yeah, it doesn't let me.
Okay, well, at least we know we've tested it and we can move on. Thank you so much.
Okay, not a problem. So now I took you to the contact us section, so you can see the different ways or options that you have of contacting our coaches. So again, the number one is that toll-free number. Clear. This toll-free number would allow our coaches to identify that is the person who's calling us is the person that was referred by Colonial, whether it is because you went to the portal or because you spoke with someone at work or with a Colonial rep that gave you that phone number. And the other ways of reaching out are live chat. You see that on the bottom right corner, you see the live chat little box. So you can click there and open it up and start chatting with our coaches. You also see another little box on the bottom right that says Ask Now. So when you click on that box, it opens this little window that allows me to type my question and send it to the coaches. And when I send that question, the coaches will respond to your question within 1 business day. The answer will go to the email that you place right here on this box. And then last but not least, booking an appointment. So when you click here where it says book now, it's going to open the schedule of our coaches, and you will be able to see, what's available and what is a good date and time for you to set up that appointment. So you go ahead and set it up, you submit it, and it goes in the queue for our coaches, and a coach will call you at the time and date that you set up through this feature, okay? Now, let's talk about coaching itself. What is it that we are able to do through our coaching service? 4 main things, really. There's 4 things: budgeting and saving strategies and coaching, credit building coaching, debt resolution, and housing matters. Why? Because KOFE is a program or product created by Consolidated Credit Solutions. Consolidated Credit Solutions is a 27-year-old national nonprofit credit counseling agency. And because of that, we are also a HUD-approved housing counseling agency. So the coaching that we can do on housing matters comes down to helping people with first-time home buyer counseling or advice, and some education that we can give you over the phone. Loss mitigation or foreclosure prevention advice, even reverse mortgages. So all of that is done because we are HUD certified, HUD approved housing counseling agency. Now, on the other matters, budgets, saving strategies, credit building, debt resolution, let's talk a little bit about that. Well, one more thing before I start talking about it. All of our coaches are bilingual, English and Spanish only though. So those are the 2 languages we are able to handle, English and Spanish. And the things that we can help with, so you can get an idea of who could be the perfect candidate to speak with a coach is, for example, someone that has never put a budget together, their financials are kind of in a messy situation, and they need to start, first of all, organizing themselves. Maybe that first call with a coach is going to help them out. The coach is going to put a budget together for them, hands-on with them on the phone, and educate them as to how to put a budget together. What does it take to do it? How can they better balance a budget? give them some like an action plan or next steps that they can apply in the next, say, 2-3 months to get where they want to be with their budget. And even share at the end of that call the budget with that individual via email. And in that email, they will also put their contact information for that coach, so that if the person wants to do, let's say, a follow-up call a couple of months from now, they can do it directly to follow up on that same case directly with that coach, because they have the direct contact information, versus just dialing the toll-free number that you see here and then trying to remember who they spoke with if they want to continue a follow-up on that case. So they have both options. Once they started the case with that coach, they have the direct contact information for the coach to continue follow-up calls with them, or they can restart a new case with a coach by calling that toll-free number. Saving strategies, that's another big one. A lot of people are trying to save, they don't find a way, they're like, there's no room in my budget, I need to make more money, or I have too much debt, but I just cannot figure out how to save for contingencies, or even worse, for retirement. So our coaches, even though we're not certified financial planners and we cannot tell you guys, where to put the money and where to invest it, our coaches are trained to help people figure out a way and to put a strategy together to help them finally get some savings into their budget, to make room for some savings every time they get paid. Okay. I see that the chat box is lining up, so I just want to make sure. Can someone tell me if there's a question through the chat, so I don't have to be going back and forth? If there's a question, I can answer it. Okay,
yes,
great.
I can do that for you, Beatrice. We've
Thank
got a
you so much, Andy.
question about registration. Do we need to register on the site to take full advantage of the resources?
Good question. The answer is no. You go to colonial.coffeetime.com and you automatically have access to all the tools and resources I'm going to show you today, except when you land right here on interactive courses. When you land interactive courses, you are going to have to log in order to access the courses, because the courses have modules and lessons that you have to take. So we need to be able to track it so that in the end, we can, and a test that you take. So we track it so that we can provide a certificate of completion when you are done completing that course. So this will be the only section that needs a login or registration.
Thank you. No other questions at this time.
Okay, perfect. Just let me know. Don't worry. You can stop me anytime. Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So I was talking about saving strategies, budgeting. Another big one is credit building coaching. And obviously, a lot of us struggle trying to keep, a healthy credit, or maybe having a high enough credit score that is going to allow us to get lower interest rates in a mortgage or a car payment, for example. So our coaches will be able to help with credit building. They will do a soft pull of the credit of the individual and help you figure out ways to clean up your credit, things that you can do, maybe help you put a strategy together to raise that credit score, whether it is, maybe try to apply for a secured credit card or a secured loan, or try this or try that, try paying off your debt. Let's put a plan together and see what kind of debt you have. And that also falls into debt resolution. Let's see what type of debt you have. And let's see if we can put a plan together to help you pay off that debt faster. The faster you pay it off, the higher your credit score is going to get. So those are the things and the conversations that our coaches are going to engage with. And they are really good. They're trained. Because I listen to some of these calls as part of training that we have to do. And the level of empathy these guys have is when somebody calls in distress, financial distress, at the end of that call, they feel so much better. So it's a great job what our coaches do, whether it is to help you with credit building, again, with budgets, or with something more complex, like helping you with different debt resolution options. Talking a little bit more about debt resolution options, they will do an analysis of your debt, figure out, okay, what kind of debt you have. Is it mortgage? Is it student loans? Is it credit card? Maybe it's a combination of all of the above. What things can you do? Maybe things are not so bad. We can help you put a plan together so you can do it on your own. Maybe go to your local bank or credit union and try to apply for a loan, a consolidation loan that is going to help you pay off the debt. Maybe it's a little bit more complex on your case, and maybe we look into can you benefit and enroll in a debt management program. If they end up doing that, they can do it through us because Consolidated Credit offers debt management programs. It's the only thing as a nonprofit that we can offer. In many cases, debt management is not a good solution for them. They can't qualify for it because they are beyond a debt management program help, and they might need debt settlement because they're in collections, for example. So our coaches, even though we cannot help with a debt settlement plan, our coaches will educate the individual as to why debt settlement might be the best solution for you. What is debt settlement? How can debt settlement help you? Where can you find resources to help you use a debt settlement program or plan? Can you do it on your own? If you decide to do it on your own, these are the steps. How do you contact collection agencies? What you need to be watching for as far as, fraud alerts and things like that. So a lot of education happens when we help individuals with debt resolution. And I think that covers pretty much everything we do on coaching: budgets, savings, credit building, debt resolution, and housing. Any questions so far before I move on to the digital tools?
I have a question. If there is a perception that somebody would use KOFE to consolidate a bunch of debt, but what if somebody just has like one credit card that they've been trying to pay down and pay down? Can you help with just like one thing as opposed to multiple things?
Yeah, so it's the same situation. The coach will look, okay, you have one credit card, but how much do you owe on that credit card versus your budget? Let's take a look at your budget. How much do you make? How much do you spend? At the end of that month or the budget, do you have room for additional payments on that credit card or a higher minimum payment on that credit card so you can pay it off? If the answer is yes, because the coach is assisting you or helping you with modifying the budget in a way that you find additional room for doubling, for example, the payment on that credit card, then great. The coach is helping you to do it on your own and to put a plan together for it. In other instances, they may not find additional room in that budget. That's it. The minimum payment is all they can send. And the reason why they cannot lower the payments and keep paying and paying and paying, because the interest rate is probably too high, maybe over 20% on that credit card. Sending $50 a month is not doing anything. So then the coach will, assist with, try to see through your local credit union or bank. You can get a loan with a lower interest rate, right? That is going to help you move all that debt into that low interest rate, and it will be easier for you with the same $50 to pay it off, or maybe a debt management program. So those are the things that coach is going to do a full analysis and then present to you your different options, regardless of one credit card, 15 credit cards, making 150,000 or making 50,000. Again, the resolution depends on many things: your budget, your income, the amount of debt, and then they will present to you the best options.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions in chat at this time.
Perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the actual digital platform that you see here. So super easy. This is like really dummy proof. It's very simple platform. Everything is located within this navigational menu. So if you look at the navigational menu, anything that you're going to need is always going to be right here. We already visited the contact us section, so we have 3 more sections to see. We have count your beans, we have coffee table, we have coffee maker. Under count your beans, I'm not going to go through all of them. I want to give you guidance so that when you go on your own, and I encourage all of you to go into the coffee portal and explore and learn, what is it that is offered. For example, I would encourage you all to go to the COVID-19 section and explore the resources that are shared there. Obviously, all the resources that we share on the COVID-19 section are related to your personal finances during COVID-19. So lots of really good resources there. Test Your Knowledge is an initial assessment that you can take. So for those of you that never visited the coffee portal, I would suggest that you start with this assessment. The assessment is short, only 15 questions, 15 questions. Very basic. We don't ask any personal information of any sort. This is more to assess your knowledge of financial education. We ask questions about, if you know about budget, savings, retirement, credit cards, loans, and then you answer and you get the responses right back, showing which answers you got wrong, and then a link in front of each answer that will help you find additional information about that answer that you didn't get right. So at least you have an idea of, okay, I definitely need more information about saving strategies. That's where I was lacking. That's all my wrong answers were about savings or about credit cards. So we will give you places on the portal where you can learn more about that topic. We also have build a budget section. This, I'm going to take you here for just really quick to show you the structure, because every section under Count Your Beans works exactly the same way as you're going to see here under the budgeting page. In other words, on the left, you will see content related to the topic. In this case, I'm in budgets. So on the left, I see a lot of, I can just readable content. I'm going to read about, how do I calculate my income? How do I track my expenses? What type of expenses should I include in a budget? And I can continue reading. We have along the way for every single section here, you're going to find these coffee breaks. They are just for fun, quizzes that you can take. It's always 2 questions at a time. So you can just read the question, guess the answer, reveal the answer, and move on, and then continue reading. And then on the right of the screen, you find, in this case, because we're in budget, you find your budget calculator right here, create a budget. So you'll be able to open a calculator that is fillable. When you're done completing it, you can print it, you can export it into Excel and save it on your computer. And that allows you to, again, get in a habit of creating a budget. This budget calculator is very basic. It allows you to add additional expenses that may not be listed in the calculator. But it's not, by any means, this is not a PFM tool or personal finance management tool like the mint.coms of the world. This is a basic tool to get you in the habit of putting a budget together so that one day, hopefully, you can move on to those more complex, wonderful tools that are offered for the most part through our bank. And then underneath that, you find related publications and related videos. So here are my publications. All the publications in this case are related to budgets because that's where I'm at. So I have a budgeting for middle school and high school students, for single parents, for the holidays, for, in case I'm getting married, I have a budgeting book for weddings, for vacationing, affording college, budgeting 101 is for college students. So again, a little bit for everybody. And it's very simple. I just open the book, click on the book, and I can read the book right on my screen. If you are accessing, the book through a tablet or through a smartphone, you can totally, this entire portal has been optimized to work with tablets and smartphones. So you can access your budgeting tool, your books, your videos, everything through desktop, tablet, or smartphone. And you can also download the book if it's easier, and you can download it on PDF and then print it out or read it on PDF. So you have both options. And then underneath that, you have your videos. All my videos here are short. They are maybe 2 to 5 minutes in length, very short and to the point. In this case, all my videos are about budgets because I happen to be in the budgeting page. And I can just play it and watch it. So when I'm done playing a few budgeting videos and maybe reading a couple of the books, maybe I'm ready to build my budget. Okay, any questions so far? No, okay.
Nope, no questions. Just some good feedback that it's good to hear
awesome.
that the platform is accessible across different devices.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I access it most of the time from my phone. And especially because I'm going to the next section now. For example, podcasts. So those of you that are into podcasts, you can listen to the KOFE podcast, through if you access the portal through your phone, or, in your lunch break on your desktop. You have multiple options. Coffee Table has the interactive, more interactive tools, like the games and activities, a series of live webinars that we do, on-demand webinars, the full library of publications. So the publications that we were talking about here in the budgeting page, you find a full library of publications by going here. And the publication, I'm going to take you here really quick so you can see. Here you see that I got to the page. We have 5 different categories. So if I take you, for example, to my credit, right now we're in the process of changing the covers. So all the covers are going to look like this. And in the next couple of weeks, these will all be different. We are uploading as we update the content. So you will see in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see more of these and less of these. And we are updating all the content on the books, which we do once a year, and updating the covers as well. So here you see, for example, credit books. All of your credit publications will be found here. You can, again, view the book on screen, or you can download the book on PDF. Same thing happens with the videos. The full library of videos will be found under Coffee Table. You go here, and we also have them by category, so you can go look for the category you're looking for and then watch your videos. We also have a full section of infographics. So for those of you that are more into statistics and graphics and things like that, and that's your way of learning, then you're golden, because on this section we have, I don't know how many infographics in many different topics that you can access and learn that way. The podcast that I mentioned, we have a section of games and activities. This section, I'm going to take you here so you can see. This section is mainly for teenagers and little kids at home. So for those of you with small ones at home, this is a great way to introduce them to financial literacy. Remember, most of schools are not doing that today, or they are very vaguely doing it. And we provide different ways and resources here to educate kids at home. As I scroll down, you're going to see that we have for younger ages, like, for example, right here, ages 5 to 12 and ages 5 to 8. And then you can take them to play the game. And it's a good way to introduce them to financial education. There's also, in the library of financial publications, you will find a few books that are for teenagers, like Teenagers and Credit Cards, for example. So the publications start at middle school, high school, but here in the games and activities, you will find things for a smaller one. Then let me take you to the webinars section. So you see here where you see webinars and then webinars on demand. I'm going to take you to webinars. Webinars means live webinars. So here is the schedule for 2021. We have already presented last week our January webinar. So the next webinar that you have the ability to register for would be our February webinar. And then we have a webinar for March about taxes, and then about financial stress in April. Every month we'll have a different topic. All you have to do is come here and register. This will open a window that asks for your first name, last name, your email, and you will get an email with the details of the webinar. So the day off on this date at this time, you can go and connect for that live presentation. If for whatever reason you cannot participate in the webinar that you registered for, you wait a couple of weeks, we record them, we edit them, and then we place them in our on-demand section that you see right here, but you will also see it under Coffee Table Webinars on Demand. So if I take you here, a couple of weeks later, you will be able to see the recorded version of the webinar that you couldn't attend. What you see here in our Webinar on Demand is basically the collection of webinars that we did in 2020. And you can just play the video, and you also have transcripts for every single one of them. Any questions about this? Perfect.
We do have quite a bit of feedback. Well, again, we're loving the ability to view the videos, and especially those directed at the kids. The question is, why don't schools talk about finances, personal finances anymore? That's really seems like a rhetorical question, but Jacob is commenting that you think this should be a life skill and that should be covered at all levels. Have you gotten any recent feedback on that from anyone in your industry?
No, so really the school education depends a lot, but it's a state by state thing. Some states require that schools do some basic financial education. Others, depending also by counties, they partner with like junior achievement, for example, and then they follow some certain curriculum provided by junior achievement. But it's not like a standard across the board, like a federal mandate that says this is what needs to be like that is the standard across the board. No, I've seen certain, we partner with certain school districts, for example, to help them out. But again, it's not a standard across all states. And I don't have an answer for why it doesn't happen.
I think that's a good answer, though. I appreciate that. And let me just say that I invite, I mean, we've got a nice group of people on, and I happen to know half of the people who are on. So if you have a question for Beatrice, just go ahead and take yourself off mute or type it in the chat function, whichever you prefer is best for you, but we'll make sure that we get the question to Beatrice. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. So then you have your webinars on demand. Again, you can watch them on demand anytime that it's convenient for you. You can come here and just play the video, okay? And then I'm going to take you to the coffee maker section. That's the last section on the portal. 3 things. Ask a coach will be that little window that opens up that allows you to send questions via email to our coaches. Our financial calculators. We have several financial calculators, 4 different categories. So we have our debt calculators, mortgage calculators, credit calculators, and savings. So for example, my credit card debt calculator, if I open it up, will show up right here. And by the way, it gives me some related books and videos that I can watch, and I can just put here my amount and put my APR. Okay, and then here's my next minimum payment. I can calculate it, and it will give me all this really good information on, you know, how many years it's going to take me to pay at this pace, you know, how much I'm going to pay in interest. So very interesting and very cool calculators that I, again, encourage you all to use. Every single calculator gives you a ton of information once you use it. Okay. Okay. Moving on. And then the next and last thing is our interactive courses. This is the section I was explaining to you all that you need at this point. When you click here, is going to request that you log in or you create an account. And you're going to see the why. We have 2, right now we have 2 series, Credit Dojo and Coffee Break Finance. This is also changing with all that, you know, every 6 months or so, we do updates and changes to the portal. One of the changes that we're doing right now that will be ready by March 21st, I think is the last time I heard a confirmation on when this is going to be ready, is we will be merging all the, we have a total of 33 courses. All the courses will be merged and put inside Coffee Break Finance because we want to avoid the confusion. For whatever reason, at some point, we created 2 series. No need. We are transitioning all the Credit Dojo courses inside Coffee Break Finance and changing the theme a little bit. The content will remain the same. So by mid-March, you will see only one. Every single course will be contained within Coffee Break Finance. So for now, I'm going to show you both, but that is eventually going, oh, see, it's not going to let me. Just bear with me for a second. Why is it not letting me? Bear with me.
We don't mind bearing with you. It's all good. Again, planetary alignment, y'all. That's what I said to Jacob earlier about all this technical stuff that's been happening. But I do want to comment that we're glad to get some information on this program or this platform, and just reiterate to everyone listening that the financial wellness program that you are being offered as City of Columbus employees has a lot of pieces and parts to it. And it's up to you individually to see what you want to take advantage of. We want you to take advantage of everything, right? But in the meantime, this is yet another source of that you can utilize and really to your benefit. And I do have a question. a lot of the things that we're sharing with our employees are limited to employees only. Can someone take this particular website and share with a friend who is, you know, outside of the city of Columbus?
I guess that's a question for Colonial.
That's a good question, ain't it?
Yeah.
Adam and Luke.
Yep. So this is Adam Teepee from the home office with Colonial Life. Thank you very much. I know Luke Murray's name was just mentioned, so I'll just quickly mention that Luke Murray is on the line as well, and he is our district manager that works on behalf of Colonial Life with the City of Columbus and is located there in Columbus, Ohio. And so to answer the question, while there's no way for us to not have that happen, be honest, because if you were to send that at this time, somebody could access it. Our preferred method is that it be made available to all the employees and their immediate family. And that's kind of the scope of it. However, in the spirit of financial well-being for all, I mean, if it were to be shared, it would be live for that other individual. And you know, it is what it is, I guess.
That's helpful. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't see anything else in the chat, Beatrice.
Perfect. And I am good to go because you see, when I went to the courses before, it asked me to register. Did you see that before? And I had to re-log in. Somehow it got me out of the. Why is it not letting me see it anymore? I shared my screen, but it's not letting me move anything. What did I do? I did something wrong.
I don't know. Planetary alignment. Let's all think positive thoughts that it will move, and it will move now for the good of everyone.
Now it moves. Can you see it? Can you see me moving?
I can see it moving.
Perfect. Okay. So you may have noticed that I got that registration link, so I had to re-log in with my magic master password. In your case, you're going to have to create an account, and you're going to have to log in order to see these courses. So these courses, again, a total of 33. I got into Coffee Break Finance. Here we have, I think, 11. So there's a couple of credit courses, Credit 101, Strategic Credit Management. We have credit cards and prepaid cards, buying a car, checking account basics, financial planning, identity theft, investing 101, student loan repayment, taxes made simple. So these are all the courses contained in this first category. In every course, as I expand, you will see that every course has topics. So why do you have to log in? Is because you can come and take Credit 101 and take the first couple of breaks or topics. And then when you're done with these two, say, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to continue tomorrow. And then you log in again, and these will save your progress. And then tomorrow you can continue with your next 3 breaks, and then you can take your quiz. And if you pass, to pass, you need 70% or more of approved answers or correct answers. And then you will get a certificate of completion, which will be saved under your profile, right here on your profile. So this is useful for you as a person, deeper learning. For, as an example, City of Columbus is something that you can use for incentives. For example, you can create an incentive once a quarter or once a year, saying, associates that go to Coffee and complete a series of courses that you choose successfully, meaning passing the courses, and present your certificate of completion, you'll be entered in a drawing, and the winner will get PTO, lunch with the boss, $50, movie tickets, whatever the case might be, right? So it's something that, food for thought, you can use down the road for something like that. And again, as I keep expanding, you will see each course or module has the topic for me to complete, and then my test for me to take. Again, if I pass my test, I'll get my certificate of completion. If I take you to Credit Dojo, which again, in a couple of months will not be there anymore, the courses will still exist, but they will be on the other one. I'm taking you here just so you can see the topics: budget, smart spending, savings, retirement, learn about loans, managing debt. And then somebody, you know, some of you were saying, oh, great that you have things for the youth. So yes, we have on the bottom, we also have courses for for teenagers. We have a housing series as well. You see here, buying a home, mortgages, home equity, foreclosure prevention. We have a couple of courses for college students, and then our teen series. We have 4 courses for teens: saving money, credit 101, budgeting, and I forget about the other one. I would have to go to page 2. But we have 4 courses for teens right now. And again, it's super basic. And some of you may ask, how long does it on average will take me to take any of these courses? Average, I would say half an hour, depending on how fast learner you are. Like, it may take you 40, 45 minutes at most, but I would say on average about half an hour. So, well, that'll stop. That in a nutshell is what KOFE is. It's all these tools that I showed you, the digital tools, combined with that live interaction with the financial coaches, is what makes KOFE such a great and comprehensive financial wellness program. That, you know, we hope that by people using these tools, they change bad behaviors, at least one bad behavior that you will change because of something that you learned with KOFE. That will make us so happy. So any questions?
This is Adam TP from the home office again with Colonial Life, and I'll give folks here a second to see if they have questions. But while we're doing so, just mention, I know that Luke Murray, again, the district manager with Colonial Life out of the Columbus, Ohio office, has put in the chat a phone number because I do want to take a moment and just make sure everybody is aware that the open enrollment for Colonial Life and voluntary benefits is happening right now, and will be available through February 26th. And so just a recap and reminder of what that exactly means is that there are benefit counselors that are available by placing a call to this number, which is 1-888-433-0131. And you'll be able to schedule time for a benefit counseling session in which a Colonial Life and benefit counselor will speak to you about your benefits and see if there is any need for some of the voluntary benefits that Colonial Life provides with the City of Columbus. And those would be things along the lines of your accident insurance, cancer insurance, critical illness, disability, hospital confinement, and life insurance. So all those things, as well as we also want to make sure anybody that would like more information or to enroll in a dependent care account is able to do so and learns about that and make sure that they take advantage of that additional benefit, as well as reminding everybody about the KOFE services and making sure that they feel comfortable with accessing this information here. So a lot to be discussed during those times, and we really appreciate the time today to highlight the KOFE program, but also just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of those sessions that are ongoing at this time. And it looks like there was a question here regarding, can you upload your KOFE completion certificates to the training gateway or Cornerstone so you'll have all your financial wellness? So I think that maybe this is partially for the city. Is this a program? Because I know the City of Columbus, you have a larger financial education initiative in place, and this is just a small piece of it. So I'll pause.
Yeah, that was Andrea sending out just a little
Oh, you
tip.
can. I'm sorry. It's not a question. It's a statement. I'm sorry.
No, that's That's okay.
That's what happens when you read something while you're trying to speak, right? So.
Yeah, nah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, this is, there are so many things that we're offering everybody this year with financial wellness that it's good if you want to upload any of these certificates that you get through the KOFE system and place them on the training gateway. I would title it financial wellness so that when we pull up a report of all your stuff, or you want to pull up a report, which you can do from your transcript, you can see all the financial wellness things that you've done over this year. Let's go get this money this year, everybody. Let's get it. Let's save it. Let's do it. Okay. I'm going mute. Jacob?
Well, as somebody with Colonial Life who has actually talked to our own field partners about the KOFE program for the better part of probably 8 years on and off, I learned a lot today. So this was good for me as well.
Good. That makes me happy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Beatrice. To echo Adam, I definitely learned a lot today. KOFE has so much to offer. I was actually quite surprised and shocked about how many services are available. So that was really helpful. I do love the demos. I really appreciate the more interactive side of things. So thank you so much. We're going to be closing out. If anybody doesn't have any further questions or comments or anything, we're going to conclude here in the next few minutes. I did put a survey in the chat function. So if you can take a few minutes and head on over to that survey to give us some feedback on today's workshop, we really would appreciate it. Any sort of feedback is really helpful for us. And as we continue to build and expand this financial wellness program for you all. And also just to echo what Andrea said, we have all kinds of services and all kinds of programs available to you. And it is truly what fits you best during these times and during this financial wellness program. So if you don't have any further questions, feel free to go out to the survey, like I said, and then also to go on the training gateway and register for other workshops. So we really appreciate it. That is it. That concludes this workshop today. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Jacob and Andrea. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Thanks.